The Philippines is condemning China's recent harassment of Filipino fishermen in Scarborough Shoal in the West Philippine Sea. Fisherman Jack Tabat was on board the fishing boat Legendary Joe when he saw China Coast Guard personnel on board their rubber boat harassing another Filipino fishing boat. In a public briefing, National Security Council spokesperson Jonathan Malaya condemned China's latest provocation against Filipino fishers.
We were hoping na ngayong 2024 ay mas magiging tahimik ang West Philippine Sea. Ngunit dito sa huling kaganapan, kung saan nagkaroon na naman ng pagtataboy o harassment ng ating mga fishermen sa kamay ng mga Chinese Coast Guard, ay ikinababahala natin ito, and we condemn this latest provocative action on the part of the Chinese Coast Guard laban sa ating mga mangingisda.
The incident took place days before the Philippines and China held a bilateral consultative meeting in Shanghai on January 17, where the two countries agreed to improve maritime communication and properly handle differences in the South China Sea. Moving forward, Malaya is hoping that China will translate into actions what Manila and Beijing had agreed upon.
So siguro ang pakiusap natin sa China ngayong 2024 at sila naman ang magta-Chinese New Year, sana tapatan nila ng aksyon sa ground, no? Sa ground, yung ating napag-usapan between the Philippine government and the Chinese government of China. No? Tapatan nila ito at sana moving forward ay ma-implement yung pag-uusap. Kasi it is not in the interest of the Philippines nor with China na matumaas ang tensyon ngayong 2024.
The 2016 arbitral ruling classified Scarborough Shoal as a traditional fishing ground that should be shared with neighboring countries such as China and Vietnam. But Beijing, which claims nearly the entire South China Sea, rejected the ruling. The regular rotation and resupply mission to the BRP Sierra Madre and Ayungin Shoal was aborted over the weekend. Armed Forces of the Philippines spokesperson Colonel Francel Margaret Padilla said this is due to a technical difficulty in one of the resupply boats. According to Padilla, Onaiza May 1 sustained damage, but she could not further elaborate. The Philippines' resupply missions to BRP Sierra Madre and Ayungin Shoal has been repeatedly met with aggressions from China. In 2023 alone, the China Coast Guard resorted to the usage of a military-grade laser as well as the usage of water cannons several times against Philippine vessels in resupply missions to the grounded Navy ship. Dismissed Police Major Alan De Castro has been released from the restrictive custody of the Police Regional Office 4A headquarters following his dismissal from service. De Castro, the primary suspect in the case of missing beauty queen Catherine Camilon, was discharged from service due to conduct unbecoming of a police officer in relation to his illicit and extramarital affair with the beauty queen. On October 26 last year, De Castro was placed under the custody of Police Regional Office 4A in relation to the administrative case filed against him. According to PNP Chief General Benjamin Acorda Jr., De Castro was released from custody because of his dismissal from service.
Since he was dismissed from the service, he is now released from our custody. Kumbaga wala na siya. But still, the criminal case will be pursued by the PNP.
Kidnapping and serious illegal detention complaints have been filed against De Castro and 3 others allegedly involved in Camilon's disappearance. Senator Bato Dela Rosa urges President Bongbong Marcos to disclose whether his administration has already allowed the International Criminal Court investigators in the Philippines. Dela Rosa made his appeal in a press conference.
What I am asking for this government is to be man enough to please tell us what's the real score. Sabihan lang. Wala namang problema dyan. Sabihan lang, wala lang patalikod na transaksyon. Pag sinabihan mo ko na hindi sila pwede pumasok, at ngayon nagbago yung ihip ng hangin, pumayag na tayo na pumasok, please tell us. You are our president, you are our leader, tell us so that we know what to do.
The senator earlier told reporters he is holding on to the president's promise that ICC investigators will not be able to touch even a single strand of his hair. De La Rosa's latest remark comes after former Senator Antonio Trillanes IV said that ICC investigators have already gathered sufficient evidence against former President Rodrigo Duterte and a warrant of arrest against him may be issued very soon. As the chief implementer of Duterte's war on drugs, former police chief Dela Rosa is among those mentioned in the Crimes Against Humanity complaint before the ICC. The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board wants to trim down the number of public utility vehicles plying thoroughfares in Metro Manila. In a television interview, LTFRB Chair Teofilo Guadis III explained that the agency sees an excess in the number of PUVs, citing the need to trim them down and recalibrate them in routes with fewer units. According to Guadis, LTFRB monitored instances of duplication wherein some jeepney units serve routes that are also served by other jeepney units, plying adjoining or longer routes. On fears of a shortage due to the decreased number of PUVs starting February, Guadis said that other modes of transportation, including buses, tricycles, and taxis, would be able to accommodate the number of commuters in Metro Manila. Data from the LTFRB shows that 395 jeepney routes and 108 UV express routes in the National Capital Region have no consolidated units. Transport and progressive groups argue that decreasing the number of PUVs in Metro Manila would burden millions of commuters in what they say would be a transport disaster. Starting February 2024, indigent senior citizens who are beneficiaries of the Department of Social Welfare and Development's Social Pension Program will receive a 1,000 peso monthly stipend. This is according to DSWD Assistant Secretary Romel Lopez. Previously, indigent senior citizens received a monthly social pension of 500 pesos. The doubled pension amount is in accordance with Republic Act No. 11916, or an act increasing the social pension of indigent senior citizens, which lapsed into law in July 2022. According to Lopez, senior citizens are considered eligible for the program if they are not already receiving pensions from the Social Security System, Government Service Insurance System, Philippine Veterans Affairs Office, Armed Forces and Police Mutual Benefit Association, Inc., or any other private insurance company. Based on DSWD data, some 4 million indigent senior citizens will benefit from this increased stipend. The Manila International Airport Authority has suspended 2 airport police officers involved in an altercation with a traffic enforcer for using the Edsa bus lane on Sunday, January 21. MIAA General Manager Eric Ines ordered the immediate suspension of the 2 airport police officers, who were identified as APO2 Raymond Anuran and APO1 Michael Lilis. Anuran and Lilis were both inside the marked vehicle when they were flagged by a Metropolitan Manila Development Authority enforcer. A video captured by the MMDA enforcer shows the airport police member becoming angry after being cited for a violation and attempting to snatch the enforcer's cell phone. According to Ines, passing through the bus lane was still a violation even if the 2 officers were on an official mission, adding that the agency will not tolerate this kind of abuse. Only buses operating on the Edsa busway route, Philippine National Police vehicles, and the marked emergency vehicles such as ambulances and fire trucks are allowed to use the busway.